Good night, teacher. Today I am going to talk about the agroecology. Our topic is the word agroecology. The word agroecology refers to the outward to produce sustainable without affecting food security and the economy of area. Is the topic or question or investigation? The full question.
Okay. Here I stand with the Dr. Vandenberg. The first question is, the intensive agriculture system are the ones who supplies the world's food demand? Are the agroecological farm able of fulfill with the growing food demand?
Hey, right now the whole system is geared towards maximizing efficiency and economy of scale. That is, make the farms as big as possible to make them as profitable as possible. So they produce most of the world's food. They also use most of the world's land, and they're also ruining the land at a very great rate. So, for a sustainable future, the current system will not work because it's ruining land every year so that there's less land available for a growing population. We don't need one person to produce food for 1,000. It will be much more sustainable to have one person growing food for 10. So instead of one farmer per 1,000 people, 100 farmers per 1,000 people. It's not as efficient, but we can feed the same number of people without destroying the land.
Okay.
The second question is, do you think that one country like Italy could fully devote itself to agroecology part as the basis of their food production, or should there be a mix between intensive or agroecological system?
I don't think we need to talk about intermediates because anything besides agroecology is not sustainable. Okay? We have to think in terms of long-term future. Haiti's problem is that they did not think of the future. They ruined the land, and now they depend on food from outside, which they don't have the money to buy because there's nothing to produce money. There's nothing to produce money. There's nothing to produce money in Haiti right now. So what needs to happen in Haiti is they need to go through a phase where you can turn the land productive again. Now you need to create soil. You need to go through a period which is not going to be very productive in order to start producing again. Also, Haiti can look more towards the ocean for food, but the nearby seas, the coral reefs, they've already taken all the fish off those. Haiti is a whole story of non-sustainability, a non-sustainable use of natural resources.
Continue with the question. A country lately devastated for environment problems such as degraded soil. How long would it take to establish an agronomy ecology farm? And do you think this will be profitable?
Profitable. Anything that works will be profitable. If you leave the land alone and do nothing, it will take about 20 years for the soil to recover. 20 years. If you do nothing to improve it. If you adapt permaculture techniques, you can speed that up to about 4 years. Okay, so in 4 years you can have a workable system. That still means there's going to be 3 years of hunger, but since Haiti's already been passing through 20 years of hunger, and 3 years is not much more, if that can mean a brighter future.
Yeah. The fourth question is who to be the principal author and to lead the agroecology project? The family, the private, or the kind of people, or government. What skills? What is the people?
Okay, the government's role should be to educate the people, to show the farmers how it's done. Okay, have a few farms slash schools, universities, kind of like Zamorano, to show by example how to do it. But the actual conversion needs to happen from the level of the small landowners and the individual families, not the government.
Okay.
Okay. The question number 5 is, as the use of agroecology farm replace the use of machinery and agrochemical, how can agroecological farming be able to create more job offer that will be lost in the process?
There aren't jobs lost in the process when right now one farmer produces food for 1,000 people. When you have 100 farmers, that's 100 times more jobs. So it's the agroecological system will produce more jobs than current farming systems.
Continuing
the thing
and interview, the question is, do you think agroecology farm with multiple crops can be more efficient at the production than intensive system?
Okay, using multiple groups, you're talking about diversifying the crop, using different crops. Yes, that's one of the key principles of agroecology, is not to have monocultures. Monocultures are vulnerable to disasters, to pests. Anything that affects one part of the crop affects the whole crop. So your losses are usually much larger and your risk is much higher. So when you diversify, you might have something affect one thing, but you still get income from the others. Similarly, pests can't multiply the same way because they don't have an unlimited food supply.
Okay.
Okay. The next question is, how can agroecology farm maintain the quality of product that a person demands without the use of agrochemical and fertilizers?
You replace the fertilizers with organic composting. So you still put the nutrients into the soil. The plants still need the nutrients, but the source is different. You also use manure from animals. You have plants on one part, you have animals on the other part. The animals produce manure. The animals also eat what would be waste food. Okay? Anytime you have an agroecological system, you're not trying to get rid of all pests. You take into account that you're probably going to lose about 20%.
You're going to lose some mangoes to maggots. You don't need to throw those mangoes away because the pigs will be happy to eat them. So what you're doing is you're creating a system which is more efficient, where everything gets recycled and reused. So you don't need pesticides. You're not trying to kill off all the pests. You're just trying to keep them in at some level of control. that happens naturally if you don't spray all the predator insects. If you don't spray, you have spiders, you have ants, you have the natural enemies of your pests, and they don't get rid of every last one, but they keep them at acceptable levels. So you accept that you're going to lose 20% of your crop, but that's not a loss because you feed it to the pigs.
Okay. The last question is how farmers that use intensive system can change your way of working the soil to an agroecology style and maintain the profit.
Again, if your system is very efficient, your profit, basically profit comes from two sources. One, it comes from the product you sell, but it also comes from money you don't spend on pesticides, fertilizers, because all of those are expenses, and you need to be very efficient to recover those expenses in an intensive system. In the agroecological system, you don't have those expenses to begin with, so you can get the same profit with less product, less total product produced and sold in the market. Also, there is a market for healthy food. Okay? If you take the fields that the first year students have right now here in Zamorano, how many times do those get sprayed? How many times do they apply chemicals and pesticides to that field?
A lot.
Every few days.
Yes.
And the people who are spraying those, how are they dressed? Every bit of skin is covered, they're wearing masks, their hair is covered. So you know what they're spraying on there is not good for you.
Yes.
Okay? So, do you want to eat the fruit that comes off that field? If I have a choice where there's one set of fruit that's growing out here, where my guinea pigs' droppings get put out there for fertilizer and no chemicals, or food from there, I prefer this.
Yes.
Okay? And I can sell this for more money. So that, okay, you sell it cheap and somebody's going to buy it because the price is low, but if you're concerned for your health, you will pay more. Organic coffee, you sell it for about 50% more than regular coffee. Organic anything, you sell at a higher price. So you don't need to produce as much and it's still profitable. Also because you're not making all that investment in chemicals and fertilizers.
Well, the next question is, Erie has 10.5 million inhabitants. Do you consider that if the Erie government implements the ecological agricultural produce system can meet the demand for food that require these inhabitants?
I am not sure I know the answer to that. Can you tell me how many inhabitants per square kilometer? Okay.
I know remember.
Remember that is 26,000 kilometers square.
26,000 square kilometers and 10 million people means about 400 persons per square kilometer. Okay, that's probably too many. 400 people per square kilometer only means about 2.5 hectares per person, and you're going to need more than that to feed that many people. But Haiti also could engage in Haiti could export other products. They can they have paintings They can do arts and crafts. There's a lot of talent. If they export some products besides food, then they can use that money to import food. So they've passed their carrying capacity, which is not good, but that doesn't have to mean a disaster with proper planning and management and the fact that the planet thrives on global trade. So you need to find products that you can sell. If it's not food, sell something else.
Okay. Well, nothing is all for today. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, it's a pleasure.